We call this meeting to order. Let the record show that all commissioners are present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we don't have any minutes to be approved. Anybody want citizens' comments? Nobody signed the sheet, so I don't think anybody wants to speak. All right, now let's go to item number 6, discuss possible action on the Texas Department of Transportation County Transportation and Infrastructure Fund, updated prioritized list, and authorize county judge to sign it.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
I requested to have this on the agenda. This is on our old search grant, if you don't have recall. And, just kind of wanted to give the court an update on that, and where we stand on that. And, precinct 3 and precinct 4, they've used all their funds up. They're on Pandale Road and precinct 4, Finnegan Road and Senegas. The only thing that's changed on this form that you'll see is the proposed end of construction date. That's the fourth column from the end. And so precinct 1 and precinct 2, they still have funds to obligate.
Carl, did
on that
this
grant.
have a deadline? Didn't we have a deadline? I mean, a while back you were pushing pretty hard on, us finishing and
Yeah, and TxDOT
they extended it,
They
oh,
extended it.
okay.
And so, but we need to complete everything by the end of this year, 2018.
The end of the fiscal year, the end of the calendar year.
Yeah, calendar year. And, precinct 1, Golden Creek, they have on that activity, they got
But Dolan Creek's mine.
$452.17 remaining to use.
So I have precinct 1 now.
Dolan Creek's mine.
Yeah, Dolan Creek was a priority.
Yeah, but it should be under precinct 2.
It is under precinct 2, that's priority 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's activity number
Okay, but
1.
you said precinct 1.
No, okay, I apologize for that. And then in precinct 1, that activity was Loma de la Cruz, and there's a remainder of $23,306.80 to spend.
Spin.
To spend,
To spin.
yes, sir. $23,306.80. And when you spend that amount, you'll get 90% of that back. It's a 90-10 grant. And then, like I said, on Golden Creek, precinct 2, $19,452.17. So, we're requesting the authorization for the judge to sign that. The only thing we're showing on here that's different is the end date of December 2018. Any questions on that?
Motion to approve, have the judge sign. Second.
Motion and second. Any more discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Nobody? Thank you. All right, item 7, discuss possible action on the 2018-2019 budget process. Board.
Put this on the agenda because every single year we do a budget, and then after we do the budget, I hear all over town that departments saying they're not able to get their jobs done because the court didn't give them what they wanted. I would like to see us do this time that all departments come before the court and present their needs so that we can look at them as a whole. That way the court has a clear understanding and the public has a clear understanding of what everybody's looking for, along with what that cost would be and taxes to cover all of that cost. I mean, I realize that the judge is in control of the budget and it's his decision. I would just like to see us make a few changes in that, but it's up to the court.
Yeah, on this one here, I just said some people just turned in their budget actually Friday real late, and then, I'm sorry, Tuesday, because they need an extra day. But I'll get with Matt and then we'll continue that. Hopefully we can have some budget workshops in June, July, and August. Probably have like 6 of them. to one on each, commissioner's meeting, along with the commissioner meeting.
You want a budget workshop during commissioner,
Right, I'm sorry, yes,
not separate.
that's it, during commission meeting. Then they can present their budget. That's my indication of how we're gonna do it. Hopefully we can do two,
You don't need
4,
to-
6,
I don't need
but
action, I just
No.
wanted to discuss it.
about 6 workshops during our regular commission meeting.
Okay.
And we can probably divide up the departments and say that this department comes in June, this comes in July, so that everybody has a process of, okay?
Okay.
We want to come first.
First come, first gets all the
And
money.
and so does,
So does the sheriff.
So does the sheriff.
But I said it first.
Now, what I'm gonna do to be fair, I'm gonna put all on the little hat and just pick, be fair for
I want to
everybody.
pick the names out.
All
They're all
right.
gonna be her name in the hat.
All your names in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, next, item 8, discuss possible action on Assistant Comstock Rodeo Association on 5013C company to haul sand for its rodeo arena.
The Comstock Rodeo is every July, fourth weekend. Their rodeo arena is starting to get in bad shape. They need some sand for that rodeo arena to better utilize it. They're gonna purchase the sand, but they've asked if we would help them haul it up there and place it for them. Since this is a 5013C and there's a lot of people that come from out of town to these rodeos. I would like for us to consider possibly helping them out with this, at least hauling and placing the sand for them. Like I say, they are buying it, so I would, can we do that, Counselor?
It depends. I guess you'd have to first of all enter into an MOU. Comstock is in Val Verde County. It is for the youth, so if there's a public and a county purpose, then you'd probably just enter into an MOU with them.
Though we don't wait, have her draw something up, just give the authority to the judge to sign. That way it doesn't have to come back.
Would you mind? Would you mind drawing something up?
Sure, I wouldn't mind having a mud crossing.
Commissioner, how much sand are we talking about?
It's probably gonna be about 10 or 15 loads of sand,
Oh, end dumps or belly dumps?
the belly dumps. The belly dumps.
You would put that
I'll
up.
make a motion to approve
Second.
and authorize the counselor to prepare a MOU and the judge to sign.
This is for the youth, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a youth rodeo.
Okay, there's a motion, I need a second?
Second.
Second, any more discussion?
We'd haul, Judge, a little bit of that sugar sand, mixed with the regular sand, that way it wouldn't blow so bad.
Yeah, and that's what they're supposed to be buying is that sugar sand.
Okay.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 9, discuss possible action on hiring a fairground and building maintenance manager and set salary.
I would like to see us hire actually, I'd like to see us do a couple of things. One would be to create a fairgrounds committee to oversee the fairgrounds and come up with ideas. And the second would be to hire a manager that answered to Commissioners Court to come up with a plan of how we're gonna move forward with the fairgrounds. I don't necessarily say we have to do it today, but as the budget process moves along, I think we need to put somebody that has a lot of experience in managing fairgrounds and building maintenance and those types of things, so that this court has some understanding of what's going on and what direction we're gonna go, along with a committee that gives us some input into what direction we would like to take the fairgrounds long-term.
When you
I'm-
say, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Kelsey.
You said for fairgrounds that oversees the a committee that oversees the fairgrounds, you're talking,
A advisory committee, an advisory committee. I'm not necessarily saying we need to hire somebody today, but I would like us to start the discussion about hiring a professional manager and creating that committee as we go through this budget process and look at those salaries so that we can come up with some long-range plans about where we're gonna go. We're in the process of trying to do a master plan at the fairgrounds. I think we need a manager that's gonna be able to control, and I think the court needs more input into what's going on out there. It's no reflection on what's going on now, but I think we need to take it in a different direction.
So do you
I
have
would
anything?
like us to discuss this, to move forward with, trying to get something in the budget to do this.
Have you looked at what other people are paying?
We're looking up salaries now. These were some job descriptions that were given to me as possible. And they can be changed, around, to whatever we decide we want to do. But, I think the court needs some more control on what's going on with it. So I would like us to look at this as part of the budget process.
Commissioner, what do you expect to pay the person?
I don't know. Juanita was looking up some,
Right now, we've got a response from 3 counties. They average from 38,000, 39 to 50,000.
If we were paying.
Mr. Esser has extensive experience in this. He handled the fairgrounds in Uvalde. And could you tell us what your experience with that?
Well, Esser and Company ran the project over there for a year, actually 15 months. We got it on the ground, got it rolling for the county. We had an agreement that we would work for them for a year. They didn't want us to go, but we told them we had other things to do. But I think you're definitely on the right track of trying to, especially as you work through the budget process, to budget for that. And that's a 24/7 position at the end of the day.
And the numbers that were just mentioned were 38 and something. That's not enough.
no, we
What
budgeted
was it? Was it
50-something thousand for that
It was
position
50,
originally.
54, 54, right?
Previous person.
Yeah,
54.
Yeah, yeah, because if we're in that 38, we're gonna be coming back
And-
again trying to figure out.
And I'm thinking between 50 to 60,000 is about where that salary needs to be.
My suggestion would be for Matt, to give Matt, the capacity to visit with Alice Chapman, the county auditor over there in Uvalde County. Alice has worked real close with the fairgrounds. She was in on from day one on the construction process of it, back 6, 7, 8 years ago. And the lady they got working over there now works real close with the court. And she's in charge. She does all the bookings. She collects all the fees. She makes sure that the facilities are ready to go when that event takes place, and she makes sure that, not her, but her crew, she's got a staff. I asked the county judge over there the other day, I said, how many folks y'all got over there at the Fairplex working right now? He said, he's got the manager plus, she's got an assistant plus 6 more full-time employees, and there's some on kind of a rotated basis. A lot of times there's events going on over there at night, and you gotta have somebody there on call 24/7. When we were operating, it was me and my wife and my son part of the time. They worked us to death. So it can become a monster. The fairgrounds and that can be when you get that thing rolling, it'll be a 24/7 event out there. There'll be something going on all the time. So you definitely need somebody that's there. You definitely need somebody that's dedicated and committed to that, and somebody that's there every day and that the public can contact, wanting to rent that thing out, use it or whatever. It's a full-time job.
I'd like to have somebody that has some background in promotion so that they can go out and promote the fairgrounds and look at events that we can bring in and those types of things.
Yeah, the manager over there right now, they work hand in hand with the Convention and Visitors Bureau in Uvalde. They actually, and I think also they have the Hill Country River Region entity over there, and they all 3 work hand in hand. They go all over the state when they have these events, whatever you call them, promotional deals, fairs, trade fairs, stuff like that. They go and they have a booth and they hand out brochures and propaganda, whatever they're promoting. Not propaganda, but promotion. I'm the one that has the propaganda. But promotional material to promote the facility there in Uvalde County. And without a doubt, that thing's been going on over there, I guess about 6, 7 years, and there's something that goes on there every day of the year. Every day. The first year we managed it, we thought maybe we'd have a couple of events a month. We'll be satisfied with that. The very first year, in 12 months, we had over 100 events there. And since that time, it's gotten even more. There's something that goes on there every day. Somebody's using that facility.
And I think there's no reason we can't get to that same one as we move forward with
It
it.
has a lot of it has a lot of capacity.
And I think we
It
can
has a
use
lot of
some
potential.
hotel motel tax to help
Yeah.
promote this.
And I want to mention this, and I've mentioned it to many different folks over the years. When Uvalde County bit the bullet, that whole project over there was a $20 million project. 12 million of that was dedicated to the jail. They put a 140-bed jail in there. And so $12 million was dedicated to that. The other, whatever that would be, 12 from 20, the other 8 million was dedicated to the arena and the event center, and some other amenities out there. They've got that memorial wall. We've got about 75 RV spaces in there. If they'd had the real estate, they'd put 150, and they'd rent every one of them in there. Those things go like sliced bread. And so that's all generating. But I want to make the comment that that facility over there, it was never constructed to pay for itself. Okay? It ain't going to happen. You spend $5-10 million, you'll never use it enough to pay for itself. But that was not the idea. The idea to start with was to bring people to Uvalde and have them spend money. And that's been accomplished. And right now, what's in the works, through this budget process going on over there in Uvalde County, they have hired a firm to do an economic study to kind of see what impact that facility has had on, not so much on Uvalde County. Uvalde County hadn't really benefited a whole lot. You know who benefited from that facility? The city of Uvalde. Because they're the ones that collect the sales tax inside the incorporated. Even though the facility is outside the city limits, people, when they come there, they still spend money. They go to the clothing store, the guys that go there and rope, the U.S. team opens. But when the men are out there playing, the women are over there spending money in Uvalde. And that's what it's about. And so the city is the one that's really benefiting from that, because they're collecting the sales tax. Anyhow, there's a study going on right now, and everybody's kind of anxious to see what the impact, what that fairgrounds, or Fairplex over there, what impact it's had on the local economy. But it's been great, been really great.
What's there? How many arenas? How many horse stalls?
That thing's got, there's 150 horse stalls. You can pen 150 horses there overnight. You got a real big team open, like the U.S. team opens are coming there now. It's got 150 horse stalls. And when they have a stock show, or they have a fraternity, or lamb fraternity, or something like that, they can take the fronts off those horse stalls and put a divider in there, and then they put a different front. It's got two. You can cut those pins in two, so you got 300 sheep and goat pins, or for a livestock show. But it's got 150 horse stalls. It's got 2 arenas. The idea was, at the very beginning, was to rope in the south arena. You can go in and rope your steer, and you can go ride right into the north arena and rope your second one. And over the years, what that really has, what's happened there is the south arena has really turned into a warm-up arena. So whether men are in there roping, or the youth, they have the high school rodeo associations over there now. Those kids warm up in the south arena, and they go and they perform in the north arena. So it's got 2 arenas. It's got a big concession stand. Got really nice, large-sized restaurants, accommodate large crowds.
They have air conditioning. They don't have air conditioning in there, do they?
Yes.
AC? They have AC?
Yes.
Have what?
Air conditioning?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Not in the arenas?
We got big-ass fans.
Big.
Big-ass fans, yeah. No, from the very beginning, they didn't think they could ever afford to air condition the arena. But they're actually called big-ass fans. I mean, they're huge. And they put a few more in there since
That's
then.
the actual name.
We were in there just a couple of weeks ago. They had the bull riding event in there, and it was actually a little uncomfortable. It was that cool that they had all them fans, but it was in the evening, but it was still warm. But no, they just had those big fans in there. And the event center, of course, it's air conditioned, and that's where people are going to have their wedding receptions, and but there's something going on over there every day. The NRCS uses it, and the game wardens use it, and the DPS uses it, and there's always somebody in there, and they every year during the budget process again, they'll go over if they need to change any of the rules. They've got a set of rules, and those standard contracts you got to fill out. And they'll look at the fees to see if, their fees are very reasonable for what they rent that thing for. And so they review all that during the budget process to see if they've got to, tweak that in. I think they've made a few adjustments over the years, but it's a reasonable deal. People wouldn't be using it as much as they are.
I'll make a motion in the new budget to create a fairgrounds and building manager position at a salary of 60.
Second.
There's a motion, and a second. Any more discussion?
The position's there, so all we'd be doing is
Just reclassifying and raising the salary.
yeah.
But we'll need to create another position for the existing individual that is there.
But is it gonna be this position that's a combo, fairground and building maintenance, or is it gonna be just the fairgrounds?
It's gonna be a combination. We don't have to necessarily use this. This was just a sample. We can rewrite it if everybody wants to rewrite it.
Because the position you're talking about doesn't have anything to do with building maintenance.
Well, the lady that's managing that right now, she's actually over that. She does, the staff that she has maintains those facilities. So there's a doorknob that falls off, there's a restroom that needs fixed. Her crew does.
Yeah, it encompasses everything. It'd be engine maintenance.
Yeah, it'd be everything.
Right. Okay, there's a motion. I need a second.
I think, did you second it?
Okay.
Martin said.
Okay, any more discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 10, discuss possible action regarding the hail damage money.
It was brought to my attention that we have not finished the hail damage repairs, and I'm trying to figure out, have we or have we not? We did unencumber the money to be able to use for other things, so did we finish all of the hail damage repairs? Does anybody know?
I'm not in charge of
I know, I wasn't necessarily looking at you.
My understanding was that there was, when I went to go visit that one time with Matt, when I called you, that there was some money received, and it was Judicial Center and the warehouse at the Self-Help Center were not done.
When did we receive the money?
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
And we have not repaired those buildings.
There is 10 for the Self-Help Center somewhere at the fairgrounds. It just needs to be put on the building. The Judicial Center, we were waiting because we had some ACs that were going bad, and that needed to be done before the roof was done.
Was the material block? I mean,
The material,
the metal tin?
the metal for the Self-Help Center is purchased, just like the metal for the building at the 4-H barn was purchased.
It's very difficult for us to make a decision to spend money when we don't know about these things. This money's been here since 2015. I just assumed when we unencumbered it that the stuff was finished. Does that mean we need to put the money back? Or what needs to get done?
There needs to be a bid on the roof at the Judicial Center. That needs to happen, and then there needs to be a bid on the Self-Help Center to replace the roof. Just labor, because the tin's already there. And then you can figure out, once we get the bids back, whether or not there's enough money there. There was, I believe, $34,000 in that account. Matt, is that right?
Before or after?
No, before. But it was $34,000, I think we took 12 out. So there's 20.
Why wasn't it bid out a long time ago? What stopped us from getting this done?
They just didn't get that. And when I was in charge of it at that point.
So we need to put an item on the agenda, the next agenda, to go out for bids to repair these two roofs. And then you'll check the money and see where we're at once we get the bids in?
Absolutely.
Why isn't that just a regular part of the purchasing process? Why do you have to come to the court to go out for bids?
If it's over the, 50,000, I don't know what the price is gonna be, I mean,
I know you have to go out for bids, but why do you have to go to the court? Why is
the
that
court
just-
can only approve authorizing to go out for bids.
But why isn't that part of the purchasing process?
I guess we could make it that, it just never has been.
And then that way you come back to accept the bids, but going out for bids would be part of the
And
purchasing
we could amend the
process.
purchasing policy to change that if we chose
I don't know
to.
why I thought that was already part of it.
Okay, so just for clarification, do they go out for bids, or, I mean, does it have to come to the court, or can they just go ahead and go get bids now and then bring it to the court?
I just didn't think we had to come to the court to go out for bids.
So
If we come to
purchasing could
accept
go,
the bids,
Purchasing could go get bids.
and then bring them to the court to
Okay.
accept.
What's been the policy? What's the policy on it?
I've always come to the court first before I go out for bids.
So 12,000 went out of this money that was received, where did that go?
It went to the sign.
To the what?
Sign.
It actually went into contingency, which that's where the sign came out of, so, I mean, for plain color money, sure, we could say that. There still is a reserve in there of about 0.6 that has been unsigned, so. And there's plenty of funds in contingency, so it can easily be undone, just financial traction, the same year as we do it.
One of the deals was the asbestos survey on the roof, and we didn't have money for that.
Well, you know, I mean, these are the things that we have to get done. This is why I've always believed that these things should be under the control of the court, because I make decisions up here based off of information that I think I have, and then I find out later that I didn't have all the information. So I guess we'll go out for bids and start this process.
You want to make that formal
I'll
motion?
make a motion to authorize to go out for bids for the hail damage repairs on the, what buildings have we not repaired?
Judicial Center and self-help.
Judicial and self-help.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All
Aye.
those opposed, nobody? 5-0. All right, item 11, discuss possible action on authorizing to mow and spray for mosquitoes along the Calaveras Creek in precinct 1 due to health and safety hazards because West Nile virus, and authorize to negotiate permanent maintenance easements along Calaveras.
This was actually supposed to be under Commissioner Wardlaw's, it got put under mine by accident.
Okay,
Calaveras Creek is a problem. It's got stagnant water in it full time. We do use the pellets. We go along and drop the pellets, but there's still mosquitoes there no matter what we do. The people are not. They don't complain, but they do tell me that there's mosquitoes. And this West Nile thing has me worried what can happen to those citizens along there. And what I'm wanting to do is to clear off both sides of that creek where we can drive along and spray. Mr. Cerny says it's most effective spraying at night. And we'll continue dropping the pellets, and if we can get the easements along the creek there, we'll spray at night. Would you like to make a motion that this,
I will second it, Counselor. We can do that on private property because of the health and safety issues.
We can, I'm trying to figure out why we need a permanent maintenance easement.
Well, if we're gonna continue to
We'll
mow
spray
it and
every day.
maintain it, I would assume that we would need, since it's private property, we would need an easement, would we not?
There's no
I
change out
guess
there.
it would be helpful, but, I mean, if that's what you do, that's what you do, and then we'll look into it.
because we'll have machinery in there cleaning the brush to where we can clean and
okay. Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Item 12, discuss possible action on obtaining the service of title company to determine project site eligibility for water tank on Hamilton Road, Texas, CDBG 772-16075.
This is being brought to you more for informational purposes. We're gonna have to go out and hire a title company and a surveyor for the land, so we just,
I requested this to be on the agenda. This is over here on Hamilton Road, right by the jail. There's a little triangle piece of land there, and the county has a grant. We're gonna, the proposal was, it's split with Commissioner Flores, half and half. And that activity was to put a water tank in the visitor station there. We may not be able to do all that at one time, but we can do part of it, and it was to assist or to enhance the people out there in San Felipe pastures. Paisano Road, we put a water line in there some years ago, and down on the far end, on the north end, it was, due to the terrain, there was maybe not adequate pressure back in there. So the plan was, we were going to try to build that out. There's about 100 homes out there in San Felipe pastures, and we were going to size that facility to accommodate that and even some future growth out there. We were under the impression that the county owned that piece of property. And doing some research, really don't know exactly who owns it. It's a kind of a cut-off piece of land. The county may own part of it may belong to TxDOT. We really don't know, but the county needs to attain the services of getting somebody there that can make a final determination to see if there's going to be adequate space there to put those facilities there. The concern that I have is that we have walked along there, and we need to come to a conclusion on that, because this project has an end date of November. And the concern is that the county will be coming back with another application in February for another round of Texas Community Development. And so we can get an extension for a couple of months, but this project we have to close it out by February, so the county is eligible to reapply for another $450,000.
Do we own the property, or we don't know if we own it?
When you're going out to the sheriff's office and you make that curve,
Mm-hmm.
on the same side that the sheriff's office is out, there's a big pile of dirt out there.
Yeah.
The county, when you look at the survey, the county doesn't own it. Neither does TxDOT. The TxDOT owns the right-of-way, so many feet, I think it's a 50 or 80-foot right-of-way on Hamilton. And then there's the same on Old Hamilton where it meets.
Mhm.
In this one corner, nobody owns it. So what we've done, and what we were talking about was, we'll get it surveyed, and then we'll go through the process. Either it comes to us, I know that right across the street, we actually ended up having to sue the land.
Mhm. Yeah.
We put a thing in the paper, and then we ended up with it.
Mhm.
So that's what's gonna have to happen here. We've been playing with it like for 3 months, and it's just like, couldn't get an answer, so we're bringing it to the court, that way y'all understand which way we're fixing to run now, because it's gonna get a bit more complicated.
Do you need authorization to do something, or?
Well,
We're gonna hire a title company. I don't think I need authorization, right, to hire a title company? We needed for y'all to understand that it's fixing to get a lot more complicated.
if we not trying to circumvent the grant, but if the county could pick up the tab, whatever this would amount to, I don't think it's going to be extravagant.
I've got-
Have a surveyor to survey that and a title company to research it. If the county could pick that up, we wouldn't have to go through that procurement process for the grant.
I'll make a motion to utilize the money that is in the commissioner's budget under, we have money in there for right-of-way?
We actually have money in South Felipe pastures.
Huh? I didn't think we spent it at all yet. If you spend it, I don't know where
We
it's
have
at.
money in South Felipe pastures, and that money can be used.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can use it out of there. Simply be
The
pasture.
right away.
Mhm.
We got like 1,400.
Yeah, but South Felipe pastures has like $30-some-odd thousand, and it can be used for that because we're
I'll
supplying
make a
water.
motion to authorize the use of St. Fisher pasture.
Okay,
Second.
second. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
All right.
Aye. All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 13, discuss possible action on resolution designating authorized signatories for Texas CDBG 72-18026.
Judge, I'll make the motion, designating, county judge and auditor to be authorized signatories.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. Item 14, discuss possible action on Texas CDBG request for payment of A203 drawer, number 6, requesting $91,540.64 for Ferguson material invoice for Vega Verde water line project, and authorize county judge and county auditor to sign it.
I'll make the motion, Judge, authorizing this payment and have, county judge and auditor sign.
Okay, there's a motion and a second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
5-0. Item 15, discuss possible action on Texas CDBG 72-16075, change order number 2 with Ferguson Waterworks, increasing contract price by $260 and authorize county judge to sign it.
Motion to authorize change order number 2.
Second.
And have a judge sign.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, nobody? 5-0. Next, discuss possible action on purchasing mini excavator using tax note funds. Mini excavator will be used for Verde water line project. County will be reimbursed by FEMA hourly rate mini excavator is in use working on water line project.
Judge, what we're gonna do here is not a mini excavator, we're gonna buy a regular backhoe, and I'm gonna pay from, Texno money. So I'll make a motion, asking the court to authorize the purchase of a backhoe.
Are you gonna reimburse your tax note through the grant?
Yes, through the grant.
If I may. The county can be reimbursed for that piece of equipment for the time it's used on that project.
Okay.
And depending on the horsepower and the size of the tractor, it'd be somewhere between around $35 an hour.
So your motion is to authorize you to purchase it and then to authorize the reimbursement back to the tax note.
Actually, Commissioner, on this one, since I'm using Texno money, it belongs to precinct 4, I'm just notifying the court that I'm gonna
Okay.
purchase a tractor. And a portion of the purchase cost will be reimbursed from the grant. Not 100% of it, maybe 20-25%.
So there's a motion, I need a second. Second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye, all those opposed, nobody, 5-0.
But you're just letting the court know that's what you.
That's it.
So you really didn't need a motion.
It's just a courtesy thing for me.
Very courteous.
All right, item 17, discuss possible action on contract for KGA Engineer for Professional Engineering Service for the TxDOT CDBG 72-18026 STEP Fund.
Y'all have before you this morning, the engineering contract. This is on the STEP grant over here on Ridgeline Community. And we have KSA engineers. These are the firm that the county selected for this particular project. The gentleman there in the blue shirt is Chris Wilde, and the other gentleman is John Henry. They drove in this morning from San Angelo, and they're with KSA engineers, and y'all have their contract, and their fees will be 100% paid for by the grant.
I'll make a motion to contract KSA engineers for the Ridgeline Water Project.
There's a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye, all those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 18, discuss possible action on approval of use of transfer of funds from technology office supply account to the technology travel and training account in the amount of $1,150. The transfer shall be used for travel expenses for 2018 Vital Statistic Regional Conference. The request is in compliance with TCCP Article 102.0173.d.1 that states a fund designated by this article may be used for the finance cost of continuing education and training of justice of the peace, court justice, and clerks regarding technology enhancements for justice court.
Motion to approve. Second.
The motion and the second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 19, discuss possible action regarding the copier contract for district clerk's office.
Good morning.
Morning.
Currently, the district clerk is paying, $561. The new lease would be at $285.84.
Are these paid for through the general fund or through their special funds?
The copiers, these are basically their,
General fund.
Why don't we pay them through special funds? Or at least a portion of it? Are they not used for making copies of that kind of stuff?
they probably are, you could look at possibly reimbursing, so you can look into that.
I mean, they have the funds that are available through those special funds, and if they're being used for those purposes, they should be paid for by those funds.
Need a motion?
Motion. Second. Who made the motion?
Commissioner Wardlaw, second. Commissioner Middleton. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 20, discussion and possible action on the purchase of computer workstation for the Commissioner's office for the price of $1,311.68 to be paid from the road and bridge right-of-way line item.
The computer that we have in the office is getting old. Graham had looked at it. He was here earlier. There he is. It needs to be upgraded and replaced. I'd like to see if we could possibly do that this year. Now, you already said we already spent that money?
No, he said there
Right
was,
away?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it gets mentioned a lot.
Okay.
But the best place is probably to take out of road and bridge, office supplies. That's probably the best.
Is there enough money there to do
There
it?
absolutely is. There's
There
about
is.
4,000. You usually have about $1,500 remainder. That's the-
Do it. I'll make a motion to authorize.
It's his right-of-way line item. The agenda is.
Yes, but we're going to change it to take it out of a different fund.
Okay.
Make a motion to authorize the purchase of the computer to be out of office supplies.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nobody, 5-0. Item 21 is discuss and possible action regarding the selection committee results from the request for qualification for professional administrative grant writing services for 2018-2019 Texas CDBG fund.
And make a correction to the year, it would be 2019, 2020. Apologize for that.
Can I need a motion for that?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
You're gonna go with the,
Yes, sir. Company.
yes, sir, okay.
This is for the year after the year?
I'm sorry, this is for year 2019 and 2020 for the grant writing services.
So this is for the fiscal year following the fiscal year?
Yes.
The grant that we're applying for is for that time frame.
Okay,
And we won't be awarded it till 2019, 2020. But
okay,
we have to do the application and all this stuff now.
okay.
Okay, there's a motion and a second.
Who motion, who second?
All right, I need a motion. Got a second?
Got a second? Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Next, discuss and possible action regarding the construction of a glass partition wall on the second floor of the LMA Fitzpatrick Building for the price of $4,296.45 to be paid from the JP Courtroom Security Funds.
And this was discussed last Friday at the
Courthouse security meeting.
security meeting, and they agreed that that needed to be done, and they asked me to bring it up.
Motion approved. Second, how much money they got left?
They got 13,000 left. After this, they'll have about 9,000.
And there's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Item 23, discussion and possible action regarding the budget amendment request for purchasing office to be transferred to $650 from the cost expense of office supplies.
What he did? This your office? What he did?
Replacing some CPUs.
Motion to approve.
The motion, I need a second. Any more discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Item 24, discuss possible action on payment rates for purchase not complying with current purchasing policy.
The reason I'm on the list is we had a guy leave and it came up short, and that's right, it's $37.92.
Should come out of your pocket.
It'll come out of my pocket, I guess. It'll come out of my pocket if they pay that $1,200 out of there. Motion to approve.
Under, I need to add one more, just given to me this morning. Fleet Court Technologies Precinct 1, invoice came in, the PO was voided. Apparently, I believe the Commissioner's Office Secretary is working on cleaning up old POs, and she deleted one, or closed one PO that was apparently still open, so that's what happened on that.
Just add it.
Just added.
Motion accepts.
Fleet Core Technologies.
How much?
Okay, there's a motion. I need a second. Second, any more discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. 5-0. Item 25, discuss possible action on an amendment to my 2017-2018 budget. I would like to transfer $6,000 from the postage to office supplies.
What? You don't know? What do we do? Do you know what
She
we
just
do?
wanted to transfer money. She's got 13,000 in postage, only $252 in office. So apparently she needs some money in office.
And we have 13,000 in postage,
Correct.
so we budgeted postage pretty high.
It was.
Yeah, she asked for additional postage, and now we're moving the postage.
We need postage, we need you. Can we have her postage, man?
All right, I need a motion.
To reduce it, accept it, discharge it.
Well, I mean, how much you say she had in office?
13,000.
In office, $252.
$252.
You got 13,000 in postage.
And
13,000.
how much do you think she's gonna need to finish the year?
Oh, I would have no idea.
She's gonna need 6,000.
That's a lot of office supplies.
She needs a lot of office supplies. Have you seen her office?
Motion to approve. Make a note of that in the budget.
Okay, there's a motion. Need a second?
Second.
Seconds. Any more questions or discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, all those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 26, discuss possible action requesting a fuel card for our new maintenance person, Roberto Salazar.
Move.
So move.
Second.
Second, any discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, all those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 27, discuss possible action authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to sign the memorandum of understanding between Beverly Sheriff's Office and Slide Tech Training Solutions, LLC.
Morning.
Morning.
Let me introduce myself first of all. I'm Ron Bellis. I'm a full-time patrol deputy with the Sheriff's Office. I've been there for 6 years now. I run a firearms training company called SlyTech Training Solutions, which was founded last year and launched this year. I'm requesting the approval to use the Sheriff's Office training facility, the range, to host and teach classes there. Currently, the range is not being used to host or teach classes. Myself, I've been an instructor for 4 years for the department. Since then, I've taken over 14 classes through my own time, through my own leave, through my own resources, going out seeking training. I want to bring that training back here to not only benefit the county, but also our Sheriff's Office employees. So essentially, a class can cost anywhere from $200 to $400, and then you're also looking at training ammo, then you're looking at travel costs, and etc. Sometimes the departments can't always send the personnel out of town, out of places to train because it adds up, it's cost effective. Me, myself, I'd be hosting classes here at the Sheriff's Office range to teach a class. So there's no training cost as far as there's no travel. The ammo would be supplied by the Sheriff's Office Department as well. Slots will be given to the Sheriff's Office employees. 2 free slots will be given to them as well. So it benefits the county and the Sheriff's Office employees greatly for this reason. If we look at
Do you have a memorandum?
yes, sir, I do.
So, first off, it's an effective contract, not a memorandum.
Will you be training other agencies there, other law enforcement?
Yes, sir. So it will be open to anywhere from other law enforcement officers, professionals, agencies, from FBI to game wardens to U.S. Marshals to Federal PD. So it'll benefit Sheriff's Office, but also surrounding agencies as well.
So you're gonna charge everybody else,
Yes,
and you're gonna give all the Sheriff's Office employees free training?
yes, sir. So yes, anybody who registers, anybody who signs up, who's qualified to take training classes, yes, sir.
But you said 2 slots,
2 free slots, yes, sir.
so it's not all, it's only 2 free slots.
Yes, sir, it's 2 free slots. It's not all, so anybody who registers. So it's per class. So it's one class per month, for example, 1 class per month, and student attendance maximum would be 12. So the Sheriff's Office would have 2 free slots. They would receive free training. Also, they would receive training hours that would work towards their advancement of their peace officer license.
And what are you charging everybody else?
It depends on the class length. It could be a 2-day class or a 3-day class, but anywhere from $200 to $400.
And you're asking for us to waive, or for us not to charge you while you're holding the class, right? I mean, the county wouldn't,
I'm asking permission, yes, sir, to use the range facility to host and teach classes, since it's not being used at all.
but we'd only get 2 people per class.
2 people per class, yes, sir. Free training.
The actual benefits financially would be for each, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Bellis, but for each person, they would be assessed a $25 per class per fee. So that's the financial benefit that the county would get in addition to the other benefits in terms of saving monies that would be otherwise spent to send Val Verde Sheriff deputies outside of the city to receive training. So there's a lot of soft benefits, but the financial benefits that the county would receive would be the $25.
So you're gonna pay us $25?
Yeah. So students, is part of student registration, so students come in, not the sheriff's employees, but outside students attending will pay $25 a day for the range. That in return will go back to the sheriff's office, the training department pledge.
Okay, so you are, I mean, in essence, you are paying us $25 per student.
Yes, sir, per student.
Plus, there's two students per class that we would not be charged for.
No, so sheriff's office employees would not be charged, no. Anybody else attending would be, yes.
This is a lease agreement then? We're leasing it too?
Yes, we're allowing the use, and the contract provides provisions where Mr. Bellis would have to coordinate with, I believe it's called the
training coordinator with the sheriff's office
to establish more or less a policy between them on how to divvy up the time. But yes, in essence, when he's given the go-ahead by the coordinator, then he would be able to access those grounds.
My only concern on this would be is that you're not training other people other than law enforcement.
No, sir, it is strictly law enforcement and military only. They have to provide credentials that be part of an agency. It's not open to the public. It's not a concealed handgun class. It's nothing that's open to the public. It's strictly law enforcement only.
And Commissioner, that's my fault. I should have provided you with this contract earlier, but if you look to Article 1, Section B, law enforcement personnel includes and is defined any Texas peace officer, any peace officer as so designated by any state in the United States, and any federal law enforcement officer or any person that the Val Verde Sheriff so designates. Excuse me. So no civilians, basically, when it comes down to. Is that correct, Mr. Bell?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Any law enforcement, right?
Yes.
Any county.
Are we not required to bid this out since we are basically leasing a facility to somebody, a private individual?
Well, it's not strictly a lease. It's more in the vein of a license, I suppose.
Are you okay with this?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion for acceptance.
Second.
Motion and second. Any more discussion?
Yeah, where would the revenues go to?
Well, according to the contract, these payments that Mr. Bellis gets, the $25 payments, they are permitted to the Sheriff's Department ostensibly for the use for the upkeep of the gun facility range, but basically whatever the Sheriff wants to do with it. Is that going to be a problem, or?
No, basically whatever the court wants to do with it.
So what do you guys want to go to a reserve fund where the equity rolls over year to year, or do you want directly to just create a line on them, and if it's not spent that year, it just flows?
I think it needs to roll over. I mean, he's gonna have some costs in there, some years that are terrible. I mean, in reality, I mean, there was a railroad or telephone post put in the back. That stuff's gonna have to be replaced. So if he doesn't do it this year, he's gonna need enough money for next year or 2 years down the road to replace them.
Some sort of committed fund, Mr. James.
I would think so, because, I mean,
It can only be used for the upkeep of this
gun
facility.
range. Yeah.
The $25 fee, will it be made out to the county?
Yes.
Is it going to be money orders and be checked?
So the registration fees, the $25 is included with the student registration fee. That way there's no middleman, so it's just handled by me. And then at the end of the registration period, I will make a check out and give that to the department or to.
And it's up to y'all who you want it made out to, Valverde County?
Over the county. And you will, I guess, give us a list, how many people you train and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, I can provide you with a student registration for that attached with the check. Yes, sir.
All the commissioners, he does have his own insurance. He does have his own training materials and all of the other things that you would expect for a firearm training provider to have, and all of that would be still included.
So if somebody gets hurt out there, they're not gonna sue the county?
Well, they're gonna have to sue Slytech. I mean, anyone can sue anyone, but this contract provides a pretty good liability for the county.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Thank you. All right, item 28, discuss possible action. Authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to apply for and accept the grant Office of Justice Program Bulletproof Vest Partnership Fiscal Year 2018 grant. This grant, if approved, offers 50% reimbursement for purchasing of bullet-resistant body armor to include the resolution.
Didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
Now, this is a grant that usually comes up around budget time, or the due date was pushed up on this. We're actually going to have to come back and run this through the grant committee and then come back.
But we'd already set money aside for Vest.
Yeah,
what we did.
We did, but this is the new year.
This would be for next year.
This is for next year, but the due date for this grant was pushed
So
up.
did we spend the money that we set aside?
Absolutely, yeah, we got it. We're done there.
All right.
Okay, there's a motion. I need a second.
Second.
I second.
Okay, second, sorry. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Item 29, discuss process regarding enacting the 90-day burn ban for Valverde County. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Judge, real quick before you, this burn ban, Commissioner Nettleton had brought it up before, and I think we need to seriously look into if they violate the burn ban or something like what just happened this past weekend. I mean, maybe to look at whoever started the fire.
Yeah. I was going to ask the council's office, see if you could give us some recommendations. How can we fine them, or how can we approach a person that violates this burn ban?
Right, I believe there's something in civil code that provides for civil penalties, but I also believe there might be criminal repercussions if certain, if property is destroyed, and I'll look into that and give you a report.
Okay, because we did have 3 structures burned down this weekend, and so we need to look at it. Basically, because we need to stop people from doing, not complying with the 90-day burn ban, and we haven't done anything for the past 3 years that I've been here, so we need to start doing something about it.
Right, I am positive there's civil liability, but I also think there might be some criminal penalties.
Can you bring that to us to the next court, Commissioner's Court?
Yes, of course.
Can you also look at, originally when we created that department, Terry Russ was classified as the fire marshal, which I think gave him, this was years ago, gave him a little more authority as a fire marshal than a fire chief. And I don't recall all of the authority that the actual fire marshal has, a county fire marshal, but I think they do have the authority to issue citations and other things. If you could look that up.
Right, I'll look into the distinction between the two and have a report ready.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
All right, next, monthly treasurer's report, since all of you have it.
Judge, Commissioners, there is no report. I meant to take this off of the agenda. We haven't finished the end of the month, so we don't have a report. I'm sorry. I've got to go. My son just called me this morning.
Okay. Thank you. All right, next, item 31, the Human Resource Monthly Report. So moved. Second, need a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Cordes. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Item 32, discuss possible action regarding the following items: issuing of credit card temporary grant, county agent office and Rachel Rodriguez County Agent's Office with a credit limit of $2,500. Budget amendment for the following offices. County agent $750 from equipment maintenance to travel agent grant $375. Travel agent Rodriguez $375. Perch $296 from copier expense to HR copier expense $296. County attorney $352 from office supply to JP office $216 contingency, $136 to county attorney, $7,938 from contingency to office.
I'll make a motion on if we probably need to separate them. Issuing a credit card for Emily Grant, that item there, I'll make a motion on that one.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, the budget amendments.
I have a question. Didn't we just move money in the purchasing department?
We did. This is gonna happen before that, and on that 260, we're about 236, but we're in that range. But yeah, we're redoing the copiers, adding a copier to HR, and we're reducing copier expense over in purchasing, and his balance is gonna roll it over in office supplies.
And then the county attorney,
Which one of the county attorney?
or no, or what is this?
What is that, Matt? 352 from office to GP3?
Yeah, what we're doing here is, it has to do with postage. We're reducing yours, increasing yours 352, increasing 216 to JP3, then have the balance of 136 flow to contingency. Not a big deal. These are just contracts that we're coming in at lower prices. Some departments are lower, some departments are higher. We're just squaring them up.
And we're moving 7,000 from contingency to
Yeah,
office.
and that's one thing we need to discuss. Because the new process where we are encumbering our contracts,
Mm-hmm.
it looked, at first glance, it looked like we could have had an issue where in prior years there wasn't enough money to pay for these subscriptions, so they just weren't paid until the beginning of the new fiscal year and money was available, and it just kept rolling like that until we initiated the process of encumbering all contracts in the first month. And at that point, it caught up to us. So that's how much they are behind.
And that's in the county attorney's office.
Correct, that's the county attorney's office. Now, going forward,
These are,
analyzing the books.
why are we not taking this out of the law library?
Law library is just, past practices, that's been reserved for district.
It's not reserved for district.
Okay, when there's not gonna be enough funds in there, and then you're gonna have to fund it somehow.
What do we have in the law library?
I don't know, 10,000.
Yeah, we collect a fee every year for the law library.
$1,323 per month for books.
You know, you can get all that online, right?
Yeah, you do.
Is the law library the library that's available to the attorneys or for the district judges?
It's supposed to be available to anybody that,
Traditionally, it has been it's just been available for the district. However, if you want to have everyone start hitting that account, it doesn't matter. In the end, you're gonna end up funding the difference out of general. I mean, that's just the way it
well, I
is.
mean, we opened it up, we opened the law library up to all outside attorneys.
Okay.
And we didn't charge a fee for it, which we should have, but we didn't. So now we're buying books. There used to be a lot of money in that account. Apparently we spent it all.
Yes, you did.
And we spent it. But it's my understanding that the law library fund is under control of the commissioners court. And I don't recall anything going through there asking us to spend money.
They've come before us a couple of times.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
have
but
an
not to the near to
online
the.
service, an online
Yeah.
service that you need a license for Westlaw and research,
Mhm.
and that's what a lot of money goes into. The judges.
Okay, so what do you want to do? You want?
Well, I mean, you're telling me we have to take it out of contingency. One way or the other, it's
One way
gonna
or
wind
the
up
other,
coming
it's
out of the
coming
same
out.
place.
One way or the other, it's come out of general.
Motion to approve.
The motion, I need a second.
Second.
Second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0.
Now, if we go back to item 7.
That's all that?
Yeah, this is the budget. You know, we're about an hour deep into our commissioner's court. I don't know if anyone has more appetite to sit through budget meetings after an hour of commissioner's court. Are you sure you don't want to do the budget process on its own as a standalone? Because we can probably knock out a lot if it's just by itself.
Well, the thing about it is, my impression was that we wouldn't have all the departments at one time.
We wouldn't, but we're still an hour deep.
But if we do it by ourselves, then everybody's gonna assume that they wanna do it at the same day.
We're talking about calling special meetings to do budget workshops.
Sure.
Yes. I'm fine with it either way.
Don't matter to me.
Okay.
Whatever works best for everybody is fine with me. But I do know when we get to some approval processes, there are certain things we have to do on a regular scheduled program. I mean, a regular scheduled meeting.
Absolutely.
And the program.
We're just talking about
program for this every day.
departmental budgets. We're talking fourth court. That's all we're talking about here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess whatever works for
Yeah.
y'all, work
Yeah,
it
we'll sit
out.
down and talk about
I'm perfectly fine with doing special meetings if it works better.
Okay. Yes.
just so I understand, if we schedule special workshops, is the court gonna be voting on the requests that are being made at that time? Or we're just gonna wait till the actual budget?
It could be a combination of.
Correct. If there's a quorum present and if the court is making an executive decision, it might be in violation of the Open Meetings Act.
Oh, we posted though.
No, it should be a regular posted meeting, just like we would do any other 72-hour notice, regular posted meeting. And it'll be basically a budget workshop, discussions with these departments on budget, so that we can take action or not take action or do whatever we choose to do.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, let's go back to item 33, monthly audit report. I think all of you have it there. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. Need a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. Do we need to go to executive session?
Let's go through the other stuff.
All right. Any approval of subdivision plats? Okay. Certificates of compliance? I need a motion to approve monthly reports for next week. So move. Second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. Approval of the bills to be up payment?
Do we need to add something?
We do not.
Does.
No. Was there the sheriff's deal or something? Is it in it?
It is.
Okay. That's all?
I need a motion.
I made the motion.
Second.
Second. Okay. All those in
Hannah
favor?
does need to executive session. She's coming with the people.
Okay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody. We're waiting for our council to come in. Just one comment, I want my condolences to Cindy. She lost her husband. So when you have a chance, come by and condole. Her husband passed away the last day of early voting.
And the other one was, she lost her brother.
Yeah, she had two dads, so when you have a chance, come by and give her a condolences. She lost her husband and her brother when everything happened between the last commissioners meeting and this one. So when you, I talked to her this morning, she's taking it pretty hard. When you have a chance, come by. She's our employee, and we're all family here. And that's all I have to say on my...
For clarification, she didn't lose her brother and her husband. It's a separate employee that lost her brother.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's Sylvia that lost her brother and Cindy that lost her husband. And I have one out on medical leave that she's taking care of her mom, and that was really
Okay. So, but my concern is they're all our family and our employees. Just pass their condolences. We're now going to executive session pursuant to the government code 551.071, parenthesis 1, parenthesis A, and 551.071, parenthesis 2.
That take care of it?
Now, this meeting's adjourned.
All right, then.